Hello students, in this video lecture we are going to discuss an important topic of theory of computation, that is closure properties and decision properties of context-free languages. Now first we discuss the closure properties of context-free languages. Now context-free languages are closed under union, concatenation and clean star closure. Mm, the context-free languages are not closed under intersection and complementation. Now let us discuss each of them one by one. Now first is union. If L1 and L2 are two context-free languages, then their union L1 union L2 will also context-free language. Like as an example, let L1 is equal to a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power m, where m and n are greater than equal to 0, and language L2 is equal to a to the power n, b to the power m, c to the power m, where m and n is greater than equal to 0. Then the union of L1 and L2 is denoted as L3 is equal to L1 union L2. Then we a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power n union a to the power n, b to the power m, c to the power m, where m and n is greater than equal to 0 is also context-free language, which is stated as L1 says number of a's should be equal to number of b's, as you can see, and L2 says number of b's should be equal to number of c's. Then union says either of two conditions to be true, so it is also context-free language. Note, to get union, add additional rule S produces S1 and S produces S2 to the grammar G. Now concatenation. If L1 and L2 be two context-free languages, then their concatenation L1 L2 will also be context-free language. As an example, L1 gives a to the power n, b to the power n, where n is greater than equal to 0, and L2 consists of c to the power m, d to the power m, where m is greater than equal to 0. Now concatenation of L1 and L2, which is denoted as L3, is equal to L1 concatenation L2, a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power m, d to the power m, where m and n is greater than equal to 0 is also context-free language. Note, to get the concatenation, add additional rule S produces S1 S2 to the grammar G. Now clean star closure. If L1 is context-free language, then its clean star closure, which is denoted as L1 star, will also be context-free language. As an example, let L1 is equal to a to the power n, b to the power n, where n is greater than equal to 0 is context-free language. Then L1 star is equal to a to the power n, b to the power n, where n is greater than equal to 0, the whole star, is also context-free language. Note, to get the clean star closure, add additional rule S produces S1 S and S produces epsilon to the grammar G. Here you can see that epsilon is also a production here. Now these all the closed operation. Now we will see the not closed operation, which are intersection and in complementation. Now in intersection, if L1 and L2 are two context-free languages, then their intersection L1 intersection L2 need not be context-free language. As an example, let L1 is equal to a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power m, where m and n is greater than equal to 0, and let L2 is equal to a to the power m, b to the power n, c to the power n, where m and n is greater than equal to 0. Now the intersection of L1 and L2, which is denoted as L3, is equal to a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power n. N is greater than equal to 0 need not be context-free language, so it cannot be accepted by push-down automata, hence not context-free language. Now the complementation. If L is a context-free language, then it is not always true that L dash is also context-free language. Now the proof by contradiction is, suppose that context-free languages are closed under complementation. Then L1 and L2 are context-free languages, so are L1 dash and L2 dash also. Since we have proved closure under union, that L1 dash union L2 dash must also be context-free, which we see earlier in this video, and by our assumption, so must its complement L1 dash union L2 dash the whole complement. However, by De Morgan's law for sets, L1 dash union L2 dash the whole complement is E2 into L1 intersection L2. So this must also be context free language. But we know that L1 intersection L2 need not be context free language. Hence L1 dash and L2 dash are also need not be context free language, and thus CFLs are not closed under complementation. Now we will discuss the decision properties of context-free languages. The decision properties states that can we develop algorithms that answer the following questions. Now the first question is the given string in the language? This is the membership question. The second question is the language empty? This is the emptiness question. So the third question is the language finite? This is the finiteness question. Now we need to decide these three properties in terms of decision, right? Membership, emptiness and finiteness. Let us discuss these properties one by one. Now the membership, unlike finite automatons, we just run the string through the machine and see where it goes, since PDAs are non-deterministic. So we must consider all possible paths. Instead, start with the grammar in Chomsky normal form, which is also abbreviated as CNF. The proof of the pumping lemma states that the longest derivation path of a string of size n will be 2n minus 1. Systematically generate all derivations with one step, then two steps, then 2n minus 1 steps, where the length of the string tested is equal to n. If one of the derivations derive x, return true, else return false. Now this is the membership property. Now the emptiness property. For a given CFG, there exists an algorithm to decide whether its language is empty or not. Now these are the three steps which need to be followed. In the step 1, remove all the useless symbols from the grammar, which we already studied in the previous video. In the step 2, a useless symbol is one that does not derive any string of terminals. Step 3, if the start symbol is found to be useless, then language is empty, otherwise not. Now the finiteness property. For a given context-free grammar, there exists an algorithm to decide whether its language is finite or not. Now step 1, reduce the given grammar completely by eliminating null production, then eliminating unit production, then eliminating useless productions. Now in this step 2, draw a directed graph whose nodes are variables of the given grammar. There exists an edge from node A to node B if there exists a production of the form A produces alpha B. Now the following two cases are possible. In the case 1, directed graph contains a cycle. In this case, language of the given grammar is infinite. In the case 2, directed graph does not contain any cycle. In this case, language of the given grammar is finite. So these are the three decision properties of the context-free languages. Thank you for watching this video.